Voice of Indonesia.
Voice of Indonesia from Indonesia to the world. Welcome back to me, Ahmad Faisal, at the program of Special Interview. Here with us, there is Honorable Mr. Samuel Pater, Chief Executive Officer, Rising Petroleum, South Africa. And we are going to interview Mr. Pater related to the potential cooperation between Indonesia and regarding about this Rising Petroleum. How are you today, Mr. Pater?
I am very, very well, thank you. And thank you for this opportunity for being here in your studios and to be interviewed to give you the purpose of our visit here to your beautiful country.
Nice to see you today, Mr. Pater.
Thank you.
Well, actually, talking about I'm still interested about petroleum, Mr. Pater. So, what is Officer Rising Petroleum in Africa, actually?
Okay.
South Africa.
To give you a brief overview of our company, basically, Rising Petroleum is a company that is registered in South Africa.
Okay.
We have head office in Sandton, Johannesburg. But we also have branches throughout in several African countries. We've got offices because Rising Petroleum is not only about the needs for South African consumption, that's petroleum, but rather for the rest of the African continent. So that's exactly where we are. The purpose of our visit here is very, very clear, that we want to actually find solutions because of the various challenges that Africa faces, especially when it comes to petroleum products. So we are going to not only represent ourselves as South Africans, but rather to find solutions and supply sources that can whereby we can import products into South Africa and directly to the different African countries in the African continent.
Really big company.
Thank you.
Well, so what is the potential of cooperation in energy sectors for Indonesia and South Africa, particularly with Pertamina, Indonesia's petroleum company?
During our visit to Jakarta, basically, our primary focus was to solidify our partnership with Pertamina. The core objective of our visit was therefore to strengthen the agreements for the reliable and consistent supply of fuels and lubricants to meet the growing demands across the African or the broader African continent. This partnership is therefore crucial for addressing the energy needs of various industries and sectors in Africa. Additionally, we have explored opportunities for collaboration in other sectors such as the fertilizer industry, aiming to foster mutual beneficial relationships that extends beyond the realm of energy. Our discussions were strategically aimed at identifying those areas where South Africa and Indonesia can further enhance their cooperation, contributing to the economic growth and development in both countries. So that is basically, what we have been doing from the time we've come here, and that is our purpose. And I just want to go back and say that I'm very, very grateful, and I don't want to miss this opportunity of thanking somebody that is very special, not only to Indonesia, but very special to South Africa, and especially to Rising Petroleum. Yours truly, Excellency, Madame Ratu, who we had the opportunity to meet in South Africa, who was the forerunner and somebody that has connected us with the state-owned refinery Pertamina. So, Madame Ratu, thank you so much for all that you have done for us. I don't think it would have been fair for me to just continue with this interview and not acknowledge her, because had it not been for her, we would not have been here today. So thank you so much for introducing us to the Pertamina different divisions, and also for facilitating our visit here. Because she was very, very instrumental in making sure that we got to your beautiful country, and also to set up all the meetings that we are actually busy engaged with. So, Madame Ratu, thank you so much.
That's great cooperation. Okay, Mr. Pater, what other opportunities can be developed to the collaboration between South Africa and Indonesia?
Okay. Well, petroleum is not all that we are here for. Basically, petroleum is our main reason for coming here to Pertamina and to collaborate with Pertamina. But this collaboration between South Africa and Pertamina, particularly in the energy sector, holds great potential for profitable paradigms. One significant aspect of this partnership is Pertamina's expertise in the energy power generation. South Africa has been grappling with challenges related to power load shedding, which has adversely affected industries and daily life. Pertamina's vast experience and experience can offer us valuable insights and solutions to address these issues. So by tapping into Pertamina's knowledge and capabilities in power generation, South Africa can further explore ways to enhance its energy infrastructure, improve power supply reliability, and ultimately overcome the challenges of load shedding, and which means this is beneficial not only to South Africa, but also showcases the spirit of international cooperation, where countries with unique strengths can come together to address the energy challenges. The partnership with Pertamina extends beyond fuels and lubricants. It encompasses power generation solutions that can play a crucial role in elevating South Africa's energy-related issues, contributing to the economic stability and growth in the region.
So, Mr. Pater, I believe that your coming here will also bring such mutual benefit, not only for South Africa but also for Indonesia. The question is that true that Rising Petroleum will open representative office in Indonesia?
Yes, to answer you, that there is a very affirmative. That answer is very affirmative. The reasons that we want to set up offices here in Indonesia is because we want to do more than just energy, or we want to do more than just fuels. So we want to set up our offices here in Indonesia to be able to collaborate with the different divisions in Pertamina for the importation of petroleum products, which is the fuels divisions, the lubricants, and also on the LNG gases. Not forgetting that we also will tap into the crude oil and the extracts that can be taken out of the oil blocks that can be utilized, and that crude and that raw crude oil can be used to actually where we can actually pass that on to Pertamina to process that product for South Africa and into the African continent.
So maybe in a few weeks later, maybe there will be such meeting between Rising Petroleum and Pertamina.
Yes, most definitely. When we've come here, basically, at the moment, we've already got signed an MOU with Pertamina's lubricants division. That MOU is already signed, and we look forward to the engagement with that division, because South Africa and Africa as a whole has a lot of demands for lubricants. So that is going to be a very, very good opportunity for Pertamina to put their footprint on the African continent. We do have many other brands there, like brands that we do have, but we as Rising Petroleum, we want to put the Pertamina brand not only in South African markets, but in the rest of the African markets. So that is a big opportunity there. And not only that, before we leave Indonesia, we will be signing with the other divisions, like the fuels division, where we'll be taking products such as diesel and petrol, which is the gasoline.
Yes.
There's crude oil, there's LPG gases, there's jet fuel, and heavy furnace oils. So there's many products that we can take from that fuels division. So that agreement hopefully will be signed before we leave, even before we leave next week. We are almost certain that will be concluded. So we look forward to that, the signing of those agreements as well.
This year.
Yes. Before we leave Indonesia, we hopefully want to sign those agreements right before we leave. So we're not talking about next year or into the future. We are yet to sign now. This is the reason that we have come here. We have done a lots of collaboration with the various divisions. So we have done online Zoom calls. So coming and meeting the people here wasn't the first time we've met them, because Madame Ratu has been facilitating those online meetings with the various divisions in Pertamina. And so there was a lot of collaborations that was taking place way before we even set foot in your beautiful country.
Mr. Pater, approximately, maybe after the memorandum of understanding, what will be implemented after that?
Okay, we are very serious. We are not here to waste anybody's time. Madame Ratu knows that. When we were chatting with the various divisions, the first thing we asked them is, what are the products that you have that we can start importing right now?
Wow.
So
great.
We are not here to, as I said, to come and waste people's time, but rather to say to the Pertamina divisions that we may be a little bit new on the lubricant side, and we've done a lot of research on the lubricant side, and we will be able to put out a list of products that we will be able to start importing shortly. But on the fuel side, which is the petroleum products, like the diesel and the petrol and jet fuel, the heavy fuel oils, and other products that falls under the fuels division, we are going to be able to to ship products into South Africa and into Africa from immediately.
Fantastic.
So Pertamina and Indonesia should know that Rising Petroleum is here to mean business. We are not here to delay things. We are here to start operating as soon as possible, bringing in shipments, placing orders. So South Africa and the rest of Africa looks forward to this country and for their engagement and collaboration with Rising Petroleum, where we are also partners with the state-owned refinery in South Africa called PetroSA. So we are their strategic partners, and we work together with them. And we have come to Indonesia with us, together taking products that Pertamina has to offer into South Africa and into the rest of Africa.
All right. Well, Mr. Pater, by the way, is there any cooperation agreement reached during this visit actually?
Yes. As I did mention previously, that there is the cooperation agreements that signed with the lubricants division. We hope to sign with the fuels division and the LNG divisions shortly before we leave. And that is ongoing. Those are agreements that are busy being worked on. And we hope to actually take those signed documents back to our countries so that we go back with a smile on our face, knowing that we have got an Asian partner that is willing to look at Africa and to be partnering with us to bring solutions to the African continent.
So you are so optimistic for this
We're
case?
very, very optimistic, and I'm excited. I'm very, very excited to know that that we have had this opportunity. Doors have been opened for us, and I believe when doors are opened, nobody can shut it, because we have, it has been set for us that we as a company comes here to Indonesia to say to your government and to say to your state-owned refinery that we at Rising Petroleum, we are serious. We want to be your partners. We do have the financial capabilities and capacity, and we want to also pass that on to our African neighbors, because there are huge challenges that Africa faces, and we are wanting to fill that gap so that we can facilitate the importation of petroleum products and gas products into the different African countries that surrounds us. We are not people that are selfish, that we only look for our own needs, but rather our African brothers and sisters that are going through the challenges because of the fuel challenges that we do have. We want to give them whatever we receive here, we want to pass on to them. So we do not just represent, may I say, that we do not represent South Africa as a country, but we represent the whole of Africa. Many governments in Africa are opening themselves to us, and they are looking to us to bring that solution. Rising Petroleum, how can you assist us in bringing products and also assisting us financially so that we can have products? So there will be that flow, that continuous flow, not just having product today, and tomorrow when your car shows up at a petrol station, you do not have fuel, you do not have diesel, you don't have petrol. But we want to ensure that just like our South Africa wants that fuel security, we want fuel security for the entire of the African continent.
Oh, great. Wonderful to hear that. Okay, Mr. Potter, let's come to the last question.
Yes.
So, what is your expectation for the bilateral cooperation regarding increasing the two countries' cooperation?
Yeah. Okay. We, as I said, we represent South Africa. We are representing the whole of the African continent here. We would like to see PetroSA, we would like to see Indonesia and the various professional companies with the much technology, advanced technology, to open their doors to various opportunities that presents itself in Africa as a whole, not only for South Africa. So there are many things that Indonesia have that Africa is in need of. So even as my colleague here in the previous interview mentioned, the CPOs. So obviously your country are one of the biggest exporters of the crude palm oil. And we are saying that can be taken back to our country. It can be taken back into Africa. And that technology and all your expertise can follow us, because doors are now open to your country. Those are now open to your state-owned refinery on the petroleum side and on the energy sectors. Because South Africa itself, just picking one country out of Africa, we have huge challenges, especially on the load shedding. Load shedding is when the national provider cannot meet with the demands. So sometimes you can have 2, 3, 4 hours without, and this affects without power. And this affects businesses. It affects individual homes where you have these challenges where they just switch you off. But bringing that technology and the expertise of Indonesia and PetroSA, specifically PetroSA, that's going to be bridging that gap. And I believe South Africa can look forward, and Africa can look forward to all that Indonesia and PetroSA can bring to our continent.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel Potter, for your time and attention to have interview today.
No, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much. You've been very kind to me, and I really, really want to say that I've really enjoyed coming to your country. The people here, I've been all around. I've been to many countries in the world, and you get certain people that when you are a visitor into their country, you're not well received because people are not friendly. But I've noticed here in Indonesia, people are very, very friendly. And the reception, we've been given VIP treatment here, and I will say to you that I will definitely come back to this country, not only for business this time, but I will actually come back with my family. because I'm a grandfather, my grandkids and my children, we travel all over the world, but this will be one of our destinations. So I thank you for your hospitality and for hosting us and for this radio station and for everybody that put this together. Thank you so much, and may the good Lord bless you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank
you very
you.
much. Well, listener, that was our special review with Mr. Samuel Potter, Chief Executive Officer, Rising Petroleum, South Africa. I'm Ahmad Faisal. Would like to say thank you very much and have a nice day.
Voice of Indonesia.